Hey everyone, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. We are talking about New Year's resolutions today, and I know it's a little bit late in January, but stay with me because if you're someone who feels like you're falling off your resolutions or you just feel unmotivated or if you never even had the energy to set New Year's resolutions, then this video is for you because we're going to be talking about why you might be feeling this way and a simple change that you can make to set yourself up for better success. So, the topic of this video is why celebrating New Year's in spring actually makes much more sense. And I wasn't going to make a video on this. I wrote a blog on this topic last year. And some of my blogs I do write because I know they're going to be more like SEO friendly and searchable in Google. And this was not one of them. This one I just wrote just because it was something I wanted to talk about, but it's actually ranking in Google right now. So I was like, oh, I guess people are actually interested in this topic. So I decided to come on here and make a YouTube video about it. So yes, our calendar says January 1st is the new year, but other than the fact that our modern calendar says this, what other reason is there? And as I've been living my life trying to be more connected to the seasons, celebrating the new year and all that we bring with it, right? Like setting new goals and being really action oriented doesn't really make sense in January. Because January 1st, what we say is New Year's, falls only a week and a half after the winter solstice. So, winter solstice is around December 21st, and that's the first day of the winter season. I know depending where you live, it might feel like winter has already been going on for a while before December 21st, but that's actually the first day of winter. So, after the solstice, first day of winter, the days are going to become longer from this point on, but they're still pretty short and mostly dark. So for those who practice seasonal living or who just try to live more in tune with the seasons, you'll know that winter is traditionally a time for rest, turning our attention inward, slowing down, because we're trying to mirror what's happening around us in nature in the winter. Everything moves slower, it's quieter, it invites stillness. But contrary to this, our modern calendar celebrates January 1st as a day to set new intentions and new goals, right? It's viewed as an action-oriented time where so many of us attempt to make significant changes in our lives. But these practices really contradict the essence of the winter season. In winter, we want to take extra time for self-care. We want to rest. Nature tells us that this is a time to turn inward, not to necessarily start something new. And this is why the way we view January 1st really just doesn't make sense, and why New Year's in spring feels so much more natural, because spring season qualities align much better with what we think should happen on a new year. The spring season is really the time for new beginnings. Think about the earth. The earth is waking up after sleeping through winter, right? Life is starting to bloom around us once again. We need to remember that we too are part of nature, despite the disconnection from nature that modern day has created for us. Our true essence is still connected with the natural world. And in the spring season, just like the earth, we have the opportunity to grow and to bloom once again. And it's much easier during this time of year because the energy around us matches this. So our time of rest in the winter prepares us for this time where we can now set new goals and set new intentions. As we move through the spring, the days are going to become brighter, they're going to become longer, and that really helps us to take action, which is why making resolutions makes sense this time of year and why celebrating New Year's in spring will feel much more aligned with our natural rhythm. So if you feel like you're never motivated to set resolutions on January 1st, it might be because you feel more aligned with setting them on the first day of spring. So the first day of spring happens on spring equinox. So this is going to be somewhere between March 19th and the 21st, depending on the year. On the spring equinox, we have equal parts day and night. And then from that point all the way up until the summer solstice, first day of summer, the amount of light each day is going to get progressively longer. So the days are going to be longer than the nights. as we're getting more daylight during the spring, it really helps us to do what we need for personal growth, right? You're much more likely to want to take action to do things when you have those longer days, right? As opposed to the longer nights. Throughout the spring season, there is an abundance of new growth in nature that's happening, and we can really tap into this energy to explore new possibilities within ourselves. And if you don't believe me yet, let's look at what history has to say about the new year. So, yes, our modern calendar that we use starts with January. January 1st is the beginning of the year, and that came from the Roman Republic. But the first Roman calendar created actually didn't start with January, it started with March and went to December. Right? So that's interesting because springtime starts in March. We can also look at cultures that came before the Roman Empire to see what they have to say about the new year. Ancient Babylonian culture celebrated the new year on the first full moon after the spring equinox, right? So, spring equinox is the first day of spring. Another interesting thing to consider when we think about the new year is astrology. So, in astrology, the first astrological sign is actually not the sun's position in January, it's actually the sun's position in March. So, this is Aries. So, if you ever are looking at astrology, it usually starts with Aries because Aries is the start of the zodiac, which coincides very closely with the first day of spring, depending on the year. Sometimes the first day of Aries season will be on the same day as spring equinox itself. So I think these points help us see that maybe January isn't the best time to be celebrating a new year, and maybe it really does make more sense in the spring. But with that said, if you really enjoy setting resolutions on January 1st and this works for you, I'm not saying that you need to change this practice, but if you are someone who sets New Year's resolutions, you struggle to follow through, you don't feel motivated, maybe it's because you're more aligned with New Year's in spring and you're more aligned with nature than you might think. So you might find more success by just switching the timeline and setting your resolutions in spring instead. And setting your resolutions in springtime can really help you to align with the seasons better. So if you're wanting to incorporate seasonal living into your lifestyle, this could be a good first step. Seasonal living has become really important in my own holistic lifestyle, and I really hope this video inspires you to just kind of explore how embracing the seasons can really bring more balance and harmony into your life as well. If you're looking to learn more about the qualities of each different season, I did create a PDF that has all the different seasons and it breaks down each of their qualities, and it's just a little pretty guide to give you an idea of the energy of each different season. So it's totally free. I'll link that in the description down below if you want to access that. I also have a Patreon for anyone who really just wants to go deeper into topics like this and put these into practice with meditation and yoga, so I'll link that down below as well. Otherwise, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.